Are you wanting to clear the Arcane Tower and having some difficulty? Well, here's a few little tips and tricks that might even allow you to solo the encounter. The front door is inaccessible, so we're going to have to try to go through the back door. These are a few potions that I have found that might make it easier to do that. Potion of Invisibility. Turn invisible. That sounds pretty self-explanatory. Potion of Glorious Vaulting. Drink this to triple your jump distance. Potion of Featherfall. Drink to slow your rate of descent during falls and gain immunity to falling damage. Potion of Flying. Drink to gain the ability to fly. If you're a caster, you may not even need these potions. However, sometimes it's best just to hold on to your spell slots.
How much further can I go?
Scorched ground. Better watch out.
These arcane turrets are no joke. We're gonna need some help getting by them. There's various things you can do. One of them is to simply turn invisible. Perhaps you can stealth by some areas.
Better be cautious.
But it would be a good idea to stealth long before you get in here. Drink a potion of invisibility.
Have to keep going.
Be sure to hurry as you only have 10 turns to get here. Proceed to jump down each mushroom until we get to the back of the Arcane Tower. This comes down to what I was saying before with the Potion of Featherfall. You can choose to use these or not. Save them for another situation, perhaps.
That might be worth a look.
If you have a caster, you can cast Mage Hand. There's a lever inside that can open the door for you, or you can lockpick the door.
A couple turns should do it.
If we go to the back, we'll notice these glowing Sussur Blooms. Sussur Anti-Magic Field. This bright blue flower, picked from a budding Sussur tree, exudes a honey-sweet aroma, which turns foul and eventually fades away if the bloom is exposed to sunlight. We're going to go ahead and grab them.
This sensation. These flowers are absorbing all the magic in the air.
Although we're not able to cast any magic while holding the Sussur Blooms, it may be to our advantage. Let's explore. There are lots of alchemy items in this location. Try to pick up as much as you can. The Anti-Magic Properties of Sussur Tree Flowers by L.D. Hurst. The narrative continues to say how Sussur Tree flowers can be used as a power source. We'll keep that in mind. Withered blue petals. Let's put our Sussur Bloom into the power generator. Well, let's make our way upstairs. Don't forget to look for loot. In this gilded chest, you'll find Uncovered Mysteries Amulet, Detect Thoughts, Level 2 Divination Spell. We enter the contraption. There's only one button. Let's ascend. Ooh, a supply pack. Threadbare book. Let's read it. This threadbare book looks like it once contained a play, but most of it has been lost to time, vermin, and unfortunate ink spill. Only 2 full sentences are distinguishable. How can I trust? How will I ever know? How can I show myself my darkest me? Timus spores. Be sure to pick these up. You may need them later. This area looks thoroughly explored. Let's continue to ascend. We exit this level. Let's explore a bit. Chest of the Mundane. Well, surely the wizard who owned this tower wouldn't have called his valuables Chest of the Amazing Booty. Or maybe he would. For the purposes of this video, we're going to leave the Sussur Bloom here just for a moment.
That chest. I can feel its magic.
If we look inside, it is just a wooden spoon, a ladle, a cup, a mug, and a plate. Although we could sell them for some gold, let's see if there's not a trick here.
Wish I had a bag of holding.
We go back and pick up our Sussur flower. Well, well. A scroll of protection from evil and good. Mistra's Grace, which grants us Featherfall if worn. A scroll of mage armor. A gold ingot. And a hearthlight bomb. All very valuable, much more than a bunch of utensils and plates. We find a dusty book. The beginning of this book proudly declares it to be a play by Dame Inia, followed by extensive introduction and 23 pages of notes on the text. Though the book itself seems barely touched, one stanza is encircled twice. There is a light in every living thing. It's crawling towards the surface to survive, and in its wake, it tramples everything. We kill the rest so that the one can thrive. This is the main floor, and at this point you could open the door and allow your companions to enter. But let's continue to explore. One thing to note is that you could make your way up here without using the basement to ascend. However, without the Sussur Blooms, these cannons will be hostile. Let's continue to ascend. In this chest we find a mage's ring, which gives us a +1 arcana and +1 to religion. That's actually more valuable than you might think. It's like getting a +1 check to all those issues. In this room we find piles of books littering the floor. To the Grey. From Barakur we made our stand, meant to rule but led astray. By wicked tentacle and wicked hand this world belongs to the Grey. Orendal stole all we had, yet taught the weapons by which to slay. Forge your minds to ironclad, this world belongs to Grey. The exile freed us with his command to conquer what was taken away. Crush every monument into finest sand, this world belongs to Grey. Trade your heart for steel intent, for the whip and mind we flay. Let them all hear of our descent, this world is nothing but Grey. Be sure to loot the bookshelves. Handwritten letter. Dearest Lenore, I'm not sure I should say this, but your last letter really worried me. Why in all hells would you tame a boulette? Just because you found it near Myrna's grave doesn't mean that it's a sign. I'm really worried about you, Lenore. A boulette is not a pet. Using it as a guardian is one thing, but you sound quite taken by it. I know you don't want to come back before you finish your research, but if you are feeling lonely, you know my door is always open. Lots of love and hugs, Amarith. P.S. It really warms my heart to hear that you put the autumn crocus flowers in Myrna's grave. I remember she liked to roll around in them, even though she'd always sneeze after. She was such a soft, loyal dog. I wish there was more I could do. A torn out paper. The writing of this torn out strip of paper is shaky and blotted with tears, making it barely legible. The silence stretches on. I'm all alone. Please, can I hold your hands for just a while? The Careful Art of Tirsu's Ciphers. An engraved disc of Githyanki origin contains a complex cipher that can decrypt ancient Gith dialects, a useful discovery if one should encounter such archaic writings. That may come in handy in the future. In fact, we think we saw one earlier, an engraved Githyanki disc.
The disc is formed from slate and engraved with Githyanki writing. You examine them closely, but can't make much sense of them. Using the cipher you found, you might be able to reveal the disc's meaning.
Use the cipher you found to decode the symbols.
A pattern forms as you gaze at the disc, and from within that pattern, a story emerges. The Prince of the Comet, Part 1. So it was that we were free from Gake shackles and turned our blades on each other. The heavens were shattered, and one great empire was divided in two. Gith travelled to the Hells to broker help for her people, her cause. Vlaakith would have you believe Mother Gith proclaimed her our queen. Lies. Gith made no such proclamation. Vlaakith seized the empire against the mother's wishes. But Gith had nurtured a son, Orpheus, Prince of the Comet, the true heir. He knew Vlaakith's treachery. Orpheus rallied Gith's honor guard and declared the throne for himself. The War of the Comet had begun. It's an intriguing tale, and a forbidden one, given how expertly it was encoded. Lae'zel will surely want to know of this.
Strange disc. Are these Githyanki markings? Lae'zel might know. I spy with my little eye.
Nothing of note, really.
Well, that's hard to believe. Just south of the Sussur tree area, you'll find Myrna's dog collar. You may want to go here before heading toward the Arcane Tower.
The rock under your feet juts upwards, forming a perfectly engraved tombstone with a small epitaph. In memory of Myrna, a shining light in this dark world, may you forever gaze upon the lake you loved to play in.
Although morbid, we'll dig up the grave.
As you dig, you slowly expose the skeletal remains of a large dog wearing a chunky leather collar.
Strange collar. It's got runes all over it. This must have belonged to Lenore's dog. Definitely magical, too.
After finding the dog collar, we could return to the Arcane Tower. A button.
Wait. Why did that strange dog collar just vibrate? Clever. Food is dispensed for anyone wearing this collar. Only one serving for me, I guess.
Let's continue to ascend.
New sounds to dampen dark oppression break. Is it the foe? That foul, contemptuous heel?
The contraption is quoting some of the things that we found. Or art thou a friend, a rescue from my lonely wake?
Come out of love for me, not love for blood and steel. Come on as you see fit, my lord, my liege.
How can I trust? How will I ever know? How can I ever show myself my darkest me?
If you do not know the deepest secret show, reveal the truth. Do what you wish to see.
Guiding Light. It gives us the light evocation cantrip. Now, truth be told, if you wanted to fight Bernard and the animated armors, you could make this much simpler because you are carrying the Sussur Bloom, which deanimates them.
Command as you see fit, my lord, my liege.
The silence stretches on. I'm all alone. Please, can I hold your hands for just a while?
Of course, my love. Don't be afraid, sweet girl. What can I do? Say, would you like a hug?
Yes, please.
Come here. For just a moment. Relax.
His arms are too tight and too low for a comfortable hug, as if he's meant to be embracing someone slightly shorter.
Remember, you are loved, Lenore, so much. You're doing great. And everyone will be so proud of you. As I already am.
Thank you, Bernard. I appreciate that. Now let's descend. Bernard did give us a ring. Perhaps it does more than just take us downstairs.
My ring must have been linked to that button.
Let's continue to descend. Spores. The Staff of Arcane Blessing. Mistress Blessing. Bless grants an additional 1d4 to saving throws and weapon attack rolls, and an additional 2d4 to spell attack rolls. Pretty good staff. A Gilded Chest. Sparks Wall. Spark Blocker. The wearer cannot be electrocuted. Grants resistance to lightning damage. On this table we have Tongues of Madness. Congratulations, you've successfully soloed the Arcane Tower. And remember to revisit the Myconid colony with some of the items that you found. If the video is something that you enjoyed, perhaps you'll enjoy watching this video as well. Until next time, everybody, I hope you have a great day.